of course, Alia is my favorite actress, and I have said that time and again. I hadn't in my wildest dream thought that I would be doing a film with her so soon. Kiara Advani, she had done some films earlier, which maybe according to people were not like your perfect films to doing. But look at her now; she is one of your top actresses. Honestly, for someone who doesn't come from this industry, it has been a journey in itself because I didn't know anything about filmmaking. My first audition was in 2014. It also happened because I won a college contest, and initially I actually didn't get anything. I wouldn't even like land up with ads, which is when I said that, you know what, if I'm not getting acting jobs, then I'm going to work as an assistant director at that point. I think it's also when you're auditioning and you're not getting anything. That's, I think, the tougher part.
Sharvari, welcome to the Quint. You've really come a long way already in a very short span. Your film's entering the 100 crore club, right? Do you feel like you're finally getting the due that you deserve?
Honestly, yeah, it is definitely an exciting time. I mean, entertainment is also a source of business, and we make films for our audiences. We as actors thrive for their love and for their appreciation. Of course, the box office collection is a byproduct of the love that they've been showing to your film, right? Like, I've heard people who've messaged me that I've gone watched your film twice and thrice. It's rare in today's day and age. The last film that I watched twice in the theatre would be Bahubali 2. For people to say that about my film, I think it's special.
But the journey to get here, everything that you kind of prepare for, everything, the kind of hard work you put in to kind of reach where you've reached today and receiving so much love from everybody. What was that process like for you? What were those years like for you?
Honestly, for someone who doesn't come from this industry, it has been a journey in itself because I didn't know anything about filmmaking. Thankfully, I've been born and brought up in Mumbai, so it was, of course, easier for me as I had a home here. But I didn't know where does one go even to begin when they say they want to be an actor. Like, it was one battle when you're saying, you're telling your parents that, oh, you want to be an actor, and they're super supportive about it. But then what next? Like, where do you go? How do you find these people? My first audition was in 2014. It also happened because I won a college contest, and my photos came across Bombay Times and Times of India, and that's how I started getting calls for audition.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so when I started getting calls, I realized that, okay, this is where you have to go, and that's the process of the audition. So I ended up going, obviously, to these places where in Aram Nagar, and I remember I used to carry like a bag full of clothes and go from one place to another and just like audition through the day. And initially, I actually didn't get anything. I wouldn't even like land up with ads, which is when I said that, you know what, if I'm not getting acting jobs, then I'm going to work as an assistant director at that point. My goal was always to be an actor, but the thought was that I must learn some way or the other.
Right.
So I went and I became an assistant director. I assisted on Pyar Ka Panchnama 2, Bajirao Mastani, and Sonu Kitty to Kiswiti. And yeah, and meanwhile I was auditioning, and I landed up my first role in Forgotten Army.
During that process, when you're hit by, say, these unexpected challenges or just small speed breakers, right? Yeah. How does one really keep going or feel motivated enough saying, I still want to do this?
I think I had a very definite goal, and I always knew it's okay, whatever time it takes, I'm here for the long run. Anytime I had a setback, and I would say when I say setback, I feel like for actors, the thing is joblessness.
That was my next question. At a point where you get a film and then you don't, what do you do then?
I think it's also when you're auditioning and you're not getting anything. That's, I think, the tougher part, not when you've already got a film, because then at least you have some body of work to show.
Right.
When you're auditioning, you have no body of work. Like, I remember going and doing meetings wherein people said that, okay, where can we see you in? And I said, but I don't have work. And that's tougher than saying that, oh, I'm 1 film old or I'm 2 films old and here's my work.
Right.
So I think that time when you don't have work, I think what I did was I decided that I'm going to go be a part of acting classes. I did a couple English theatre shows. I did a lot of dance classes, because my whole agenda was that the day I get a role, I don't want people to say that, oh, Sharvari doesn't know this.
I'm ready.
Yeah.
Sharvari, did you kind of always have the support of the family and the people around you saying, go for it, no matter how long it takes?
I was very scared to tell my parents that I wanted to be an actor. And they realized that before I could say it. My father's a builder, my mom's an interior designer. So my world and my dinner table conversations are, very, very different. And when I participated in this competition, they saw how much I loved it. And at that time, I was actually in college and I was studying to give my entrance examination for engineering. So I had taken up science. And I was like any other kid. I had joined these classes where I was going day in, day out, and I was preparing for my exams. I was really enjoying this competition. It was called the Fresh Face by Times of India. And they sat me down, in fact, and they asked me, do you want to be an actor?
Wow, I think this is the first time I'm hearing it go the other way around.
Yeah. And I was mum, like I didn't know what to say. And I agreed, of course, that I wanted to. And immediately that day, my parents said that, okay, so then just shift to arts, leave science. And I was even more scared. I said, what are you all doing? Like, I'm a 90 plus kid. I'll manage at least, like, I'll get good marks. So they said, no, you can't keep your feet in two boats. It's not going to happen. If you want to be an actor, don't have a plan B.
Wow.
And I remember they had said that you need to be so scared that you don't have a plan B that you make your plan A work. And I think they were the ones who actually really, really empowered me to be where I am.
Wow, we need more parents like this, Do you remember the first day you set foot in a space where you were giving an audition? What did that feel like to you? What was that day like for you?
I didn't understand this process at all, actually. They gave me a script and I thought that I have to by heart it. And I was very good at elocution and all in school. So I think that what I did was I learned the lines. I went and, they said, look into the camera. And I looked into the camera and I said my lines. And I think that I had no emotion because I performed it like an elocution. And so yeah, I think that day I thought that maybe this is not for me.
And then what happened with that audition though?
I think it was supposed to be a film with some 6 friends, and strangely, so Siddhant was also a part of that 6 friends film that was supposed to happen. And I think they shortlisted me for the next round, and that's when I thought that okay, maybe I'm not half as bad.
But to get shortlisted for your first ever audition is it's like a big morale boost. Thinking, okay, I can do this. Tell me something. When you think of the last 3 years and everything that you've put in, and as you sit here today, you've been truly loved by everybody. And recently I think I read somewhere that you've beat Deepika and the IMDb list as the most popular celebrity. Does it make you feel overwhelmed for a second, where you feel like I need to kind of take stock of what is happening around me and also center myself?
No, honestly, you've always waited for days like this. What this gives me, or an actor like me in this position, is a lot more work. I think the audience is going to empower me finding some really good projects.
An actor's journey that you're inspired by personally?
Kiara Advani. She had done some films earlier which maybe according to people were not like your perfect films to doing. But look at her now, she is one of your top actresses, and I feel like there is no one way to success or one path to success. And I guess that she did some unconventional films in the beginning of her career, but that still led her here. So I think that you don't have to always be a part of the perfect project to reach where you want to reach. You can reach wherever you want to reach.
3 years in, what are some of the things that you feel as an actor that you find slightly more challenging that from the outside you didn't think would exist?
When you have to decide which project to do, and sometimes you say no to some films. I think when you're on the outside, you never think of saying no. You feel like you'll do every film that comes your way. Like for you, like you feel at that point, you're like everything is a blessing. You never think of, when I have to say no. But
that's also a privilege in a way though.
It is a huge privilege.
Yeah.
I'm not saying that necessarily a project has to be a good or a bad project to say no if it doesn't relate to you.
Does that also come from a part of what you find relatable, or what it is that you as a person stand for?
I think that definitely as a character, there can be flawed characters. And as an actor, it is your job to play people's lives, and that necessarily doesn't have to be the perfect life, because I don't think anybody leads a perfect life. I do think that there is a responsibility on your shoulder as a film overall. What message does that film give? Because I feel that I have been inspired by films, and when I have grown up watching films, I have been influenced by them. So I think that great responsibility lies with power, and I feel that a character and a film are completely different things. So the film needs to speak for what you stand for possibly. But the character can be flawed, provided your film is giving the right message.
Yeah, as far as it's not impacting the society in a regressive way, is what I would like to think.
No,
Would I be
100%.
right?
I think that whatever one's beliefs are.
Of course, now coming back to the fact that you're also a part of the Spy-verse now, I believe that you started training for it. How's that going for you?
I think it's incredible because it's a huge IP. To be a part of YRF Spy Universe for a producer like Aditya Chopra to believe in me when I'm just two films old, and I had this film even before Munjya happened. I mean, every day is a dream come true, to be able to work with actors you didn't think you'd even be in the same room with so early on in your career. Of course, Alia is my favorite actress, and I have said that time and again. I hadn't in my wildest dream thought that I would be doing a film with her so soon.
Thank you so much for talking to me.
Thank you so much.